this feeling, I'm in motion, a certain sense of liberty. I don't care 'cause I'm not there, and I don't care if I'm here tomorrow. Again and again I've taken too much of the things I've cost you too much. I used to think that the day would never come. I see the light in the shade of the morning sun. My morning sun is the drug that brings me in to the child that lost, replaced by fear. I used to think that the day would never come, that my life would depend on the morning sun. When I was a very small boys talk to me. Now that we've grown up together, they're afraid of what they see. That's the price that we all pay. Our value destiny comes to nothing. I can't tell you where we're going. I guess there's just no way I'm knowing. I used to think that the day would never come. I see the light in the shade of the morning sun. My morning sun is the drug that brings me here to the child that lost, replaced by fear. I used to think that the day would never come, that my life would depend on the morning sun. Extraordinary, something's got a hold on me. I get this feeling I'm in motion, a certain sense of liberty. The chances are we've gone too far. You took my time and you took my money. Now I feel you've left me standing in our role that's so demanding. I used to think that the day would never come. I see the light in the shade of the morning sun. My morning sun is the drug that brings me in to the child that lost, replaced by fear. I used to think that the day would never come, that my life would depend on the morning sun. I used to think that the day would never come. I see the light in the shade of the morning sun. My morning sun is the drug that brings me near to the childhood I lost, replaced by fear. I used to think that the day would never come, that my life would depend on the morning sun. Why are we holding on to something with no meaning in our life? We hear so many lies. Why can I hear so many noises all around me in the night? The time keeps ticking by. We are one, we are one of the same thing. Love that can find a place you can turn to. We are one, we are one of the same thing. We want it now. We are falls apart, and we're caught in the middle. Who's making the decisions that we're ever gonna give in? This generation's failing. When it all falls apart, and we're caught in the middle. Maybe one day everything will change, but now we're waiting for revolution. Why are we waiting night and day for something better to come by? We've had so many lives. Why do I look over my shoulder just to see what's left behind? Taking one step at a time. We are one, we are one the same. Love that can find a place you can turn to. We are one, we are one the same. We want it now. When it all falls apart, and we're caught in the middle. Who's making the decisions that we're ever gonna give in? This generation's failing. When it all falls apart, and we're caught in the middle. Maybe one day everything will change, but now we're waiting for revolution. When it all falls apart, and we're caught in the middle. All around town, people trying to get down. When it all falls apart, and we're caught in the middle. Maybe one day everything will change, but now we're waiting for revolution.
All right, aloha everybody. Welcome. I got Blue Unicorn, Pookie, Joe Kerr, Elena G, Tony Howie, JM, Stevo, Dom, everybody. Even the Lillypillies is here. Well, Manny,
Hello.
half of the Lillypillies.
See, we've been talking for the last half hour now. I've gone all shy because we're live.
Yeah. So wow, that waiting for a revolution. I've listened to that song a few times, and what's the story behind that? Did something happen, or were you just like?
Well, first of all, there's about 3 versions of that song out there. That was the one that we did with Hetriani, that version. The original one came out a few weeks before that, and then there's one for Spotify, which is the electro version as well. How did that come about? I guess we're going through a time now where I think that we kind of need to hit the reset button on a lot of things in the world. I don't have all the answers, and I'm not sure how that's going to happen. But that's what that song is basically about. It's about one of the lyrics is maybe someday everything will change, but right now we're waiting for a revolution to happen. And it's not really about it can be about any revolution, just change in the way that we're approaching life. needs to change, I think, and I just kind of wanted to convey that in the song.
Yeah, I agree with that 100% too.
And yeah, we were
Indeed.
blessed because it was kind of sort of one of our more sort of rock style songs, because we kind of do a bit of I guess it's indie pop, indie rock. And when I was chatting to Hetriani, who had listened to the song before it was even released, I said to him, "Do you want to have a go at doing your version of it, making it maybe a little bit heavier even than the original?" And then he came back with that and blown away with it. So we also put it out as an EP on Spotify and Bandcamp, where you can get all 3 versions of that song, including that one.
Nice.
I'm a hopeless multitasker. I'm trying to look at the chat as well. Thank you for
Me too.
being here. I can see Elena and Blue Unicorn and Independent. I think I saw Jackson and Doug and everyone. So nice to spend some
Yeah,
time with you guys.
I'm the same way. As long as I've been doing this too, I'm still never been a good multitasker. It's like a lot of times I'll miss like half hour, 45 minutes of the chat, and then people are like, dude, scroll back up and look. I'm like, I'm not scrolling back up through all those messages. Like, just type it again, you know?
I saw Pukey, Charlie Gabaldwin,
Charlie Gabaldon.
Doug.
And if anyone has come in and you don't have a wrench, just say something. I usually try to get everyone a wrench so you can all connect with each other. Unless you're a troll, then you're not going to get one. But
I think
so
we've
how
been pretty
long?
lucky with these communities, because we don't really have. I mean, I haven't really experienced too many trolls. I think a lot of people are really genuine, and you'll
Yeah,
get the bot every now and again, but apart from that, I think we're pretty blessed to be in this awesome community.
yeah. Because I do karaoke too on Mondays, and on the karaoke end, twice was on my wife's channel, which I feel horrible about, but once was on mine, and yeah, we got p-bombed. And that sucks. But never in I mean, it's kind of the same community, but it was always karaoke side of it. So, and yeah, and Blue Unicorn and Joker are kind of trolls, but they're the good kind, you know, the loving kind. Hey, Frank Turzo,
And I
aloha.
can see Frank Turzo. Hey, Frank.
Kiss off. Jackson Pierce. So how long have you been a musician? How long, or when did you decide that you wanted to get into music?
Early on, I think back in the high school days is when I kind of first started dabbling into music and songwriting. And at the time, I remember we didn't even have any instruments. We used to use things like pots and pans for percussion. I think I had this really, really crappy Casio keyboard that I used to sort of use somehow with, and that's literally how we started. And then we started sort of getting a little bit more serious and maybe like buying instruments and trying to play them. That's how it sort of all started. And I guess we used to have fun just coming up with our own original music and songs. And then it got a little bit more serious after that. I started playing in bands in the 90s and doing a lot of live gigs and getting a lot of experience, I think. And after that, I was in a cover band for a while, and that was good because it was actually like a job. So we had an agent that would book us gigs 3 nights a week, and that got a little bit, it was a lot. It was a lot of work, because when you're singing in front of people 3 nights a week for 4 hours, doing stuff that you probably don't necessarily want to sing, because you just get told what to sing and they expect you to go. Then we were a 6-piece band playing in Sydney venues. I did that for a long time, and it gave me a lot of experience, but it wasn't really my passion, because my passion is writing songs and coming up with music and lyrics. And then life kind of got in the way, and I became a dad, and music got pushed to the side. And it wasn't until 2021 that I decided to create Lillypillies, and start a channel and start writing original songs. Because I think when you're a musician and you've got music in you, it never really goes away. Even when you don't have time to dedicate yourself to music, I think when you're a musician, it's always there. And I think the pandemic gave me the opportunity to sort of sit down and say, okay, I'm going to get my stuff out. I'm going to get set up, and I'm going to create a band. And we're lucky that nowadays we can do this. We get to I get to communicate with people from around the world and promote my music. And I've been blessed because I've met so many awesome people, and our songs have been put on Spotify playlists and gotten radio play here in Australia. So it's been I'm still enjoying the ride.
That's awesome. That's so true because yeah, back before YouTube and social media, I mean, yeah, you had to go through all kinds of hoops and jump all kinds of stuff just to, you know, had to be in the right place at the right time or
Yeah.
to get seen or heard by the right person. And now, yeah, you just go online and meet
And you
people
had to
from
have a
everywhere.
certain style of music. I mean, here in Australia anyway, you had to fit a certain like you had to pretty much get played onto a particular radio station. And if you managed to do that with a particular style of music, which in the 90s was sort of more grunge, and if you didn't fit that mold, and you weren't, like you said, in the right place at the right time, you had no hope. And you had to sort of do these gigs and bring all your friends along. And whereas now I can write a song and I can make a music video, and people from all over the world can see that. I wish that we had what we have now back then. And to record, on top of that, you had to actually go into a proper studio and book studio time. And now we can do this from home. And if I'm doing a vocal and I'm not happy with it, I can go back and change it and do it again and again and again. If I did that back then, it would cost a lot of money to ask the engineer, sorry, I want to redo my vocal and I need to book more time. And it was completely different story back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, especially with making the video, right? Making a
Yeah.
video back then is completely different than making a video now.
Now we have these phones in our pockets and we can take footage, and it's amazing what we can do with videos. We have a brand new one coming out in a couple of weeks' time, which I can't wait to show you guys. It's a song called Electric, and we've got all these effects going on, and I just went a bit crazy with them all. It's pretty exciting stuff that
Yeah,
obviously we couldn't do back then. 20 years ago it was impossible.
that's what August 10th.
Yes, I think 11th for me, 10th for you guys, or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I
Confusing
think
with the
for
time zone.
me it'd be August 10th at 2 p.m. my time. So um, it'd be seven Central, 7 p.m.
Yeah,
Central.
which is the same day as we release our second album, available on all streaming platforms. The album is called Songs from the Present Day.
Six. Oh, sorry, thought I turned my phone off. But second album. So when did your first album release? I know it was within the last couple of years because you were just
Yeah,
saying, but
first album was last year. So I've literally written, produced, and recorded 20 songs in 2 years, which, if I think about it now, I don't know how I did it. But the first album came out on the 1st of April of 2022. It was called Run to the Future. And this one is called Songs from the Present Day, and it will be released on the 11th or 10th of August, depending on where you are in the world.
right, if you're in the future or the past, that's weird how you can be the next day. I don't know.
Yeah. Here in Australia, we live in the future. We're ahead of everyone
Right.
else.
But I was looking at I thought I listened to all of your songs, but there's a few in here that I haven't. But this one I have, the When We Were Young. Is there a story behind that one? For
When We Were Young is one of my favorite songs, and also one of my guitarist Alessandro, who's also the other Lillypillies, his favorite as well. Apparently, we had this discussion a few weeks ago. It's just a song about how perhaps when we were young things were easier and maybe even better. And one of the lines of the song is, "Do you remember all your hopes and dreams when happiness didn't come from a screen?" Which is a lyric that I wrote. And in many ways, it was influenced by my kids who seem to be online all the time and way too much. And every now and then I just tell them how my childhood was a lot better than theirs because, we actually went outside and did stuff and they're always plugged in and all of that. So that's what that song is about. And it came about pretty quickly. When I have an idea, I can sort of just go like a steam train and get the song done. The thing that takes the longest for me is the production. The songwriting, not so much, but the actual producing the songs, because a lot of my songs have 50, 60 tracks on them, which takes me a long time to do. But I think that we're quite happy with how that one turned out. Hey, Dom.
uh,
Hey, Kid Kane.
and how true is that too? Like what you were saying, how when we were young, yeah, like now, even if they do go outside, they still, you know, they're plugged in always. It's like I
Yeah,
didn't
and I
have a
think that
choice. To me, it was, the sun comes up, it's get out of the house, make sure you're back in the house when the sun goes down.
I
You had to
think
go
that
outside.
our generation can appreciate the technology that we have because we didn't have it before, and now we get to do what we're doing and interacting with each other, and we kind of have had the best of both worlds. We know what it was like pre-technology and social media, and we can appreciate that. But this generation has never been unplugged before. Everything that they
Right.
do, they leave a trace somewhere on the internet, and which is kind of scary, I think, in a way.
Yeah, it
Just,
is. I mean,
so,
there you go.
but I
Yeah,
guess that
and
song sort of I guess it just asks questions and is a song about reminiscing the past.
right. I know Frank. I'm trying to think of it, but I can't think of the name of it. But Frank Turzo has one similar about back then. Dang it! What's the name of that song, Frank? It's driving me crazy. But yeah, and anyone in chat, thank you, Indy too. There's Lillypillies YouTube, and also I think I pinned it. Should be pinned too, just in case. If you're not subscribed, you should be. And if you want to know why you should be, well, let's check out the song When We Were Young.
When the feeling is empty, when the weather gets you feeling down, and you think of the times when we were young, you would run to the future. Now you wish you could turn back time when you think of the times when we were young. Do you follow your head or your heart? We would fall off the edge, then carry on from the start. We were never afraid when we were young. Do you remember The days when we were never apart. With the world unplugged, was it better to be left in the dark? When the lights go out, now you see it. Whoa. We can't let go of this feeling. Whoa. Do you remember all your hopes and dreams? When happiness didn't come from the screen. With the lights gone out, now you see it. And appreciate the times when we were young. When you don't wanna worry, and there's nothing you can do but hit the ground. So you think of the times of when we were young. Looking back at the days gone by, when the memories fade, can you feel it inside? Now you cherish the times when we were young. Do you remember the simple things we were waiting for? With the world in our pocket, there's nothing else to see anymore. When the lights go out, now you see it. Whoa. We can't let go of this feeling. Whoa. Do you remember all your hopes and dreams? When happiness didn't come from the screen. With the lights gone out, now you see it. And appreciate the times when we were young. When the lights go out, now you see it. Whoa. We can't let go of this feeling. Whoa. Do you remember all your hopes and dreams? When happiness didn't come from the screen. With the lights gone out, now you see it. And appreciate the times when we were young. When we were young. When we were young. When we were young. When we were young.
Yeah, that was awesome. Awesome message too. Like Indy says, love the message. And when happiness didn't come from a screen, those perfect lyrics.
Thank you. Yeah, sometimes I just want to walk into my kids' rooms and just unplug everything.
Right? So, how many do you play instruments? How many instruments, or do you just?
I play a bit of everything, but I'm a master at nothing. So when I write songs, I obviously have to play instruments. And what you hear on every Lillypillies track, apart from I've played some guitars in some songs, and I had to actually sort of slow the song down just to find the chords and do all that. But I pretty much play everything that you hear on the track. Sometimes even the drum programming, I'm literally pressing buttons and going and people, and you know, when I'm at home, I've got headphones on and all I can hear is the tapping. And it's like, oh, Dad's tapping again. So I'm trying to do the beats and stuff. When I started playing music, I was a bass player, and that's how I met the other Lillypilli, Alessandro, because he was the drummer, I was the bass player. And then I think we lost the singer, and then at one point I was singing and playing bass, and then I was just singing. And as a child, I played the piano, so I used to play piano until I was 13 or 14. So I can kind of play everything, but I'm actually not a good musician. I think my strength is in coming up with melodies. I always have these melodies in my head. As soon as I hear, even when I hear instrumental songs in the community, even or not in the community, my brain automatically hears a melody, like a vocal melody, and then I enjoy writing lyrics, and then that's pretty much how I work. And I'm often I even my kids, especially my one of my sons, he's a really good guitarist. The other day he was learning Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. And I said to him, I'm so jealous. I wish I could play like you. I can't. But everyone has their own strengths, you know. And his guitar
Right.
teacher, you know, I was in the room with his guitar teacher, and he said, well, we wish that we could sing like you or come up with melodies like you. So it's, you know, it's hard to do it all. You know, I think you can count on one hand people that could, like, you know, people that come to mind are people like Prince, super multi-instrumentalists that could, you know, produce, write, record, sing, play every instrument on his albums. Maybe even Lenny Kravitz, I think, is at that level as well.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Sully from Godsmack is like that too.
I think that bands exist for a reason, because there's a singer, there's a guitarist, there's a bass player, yeah, to answer your question, I can play a lot, but I'm not a great musician. We did a on our YouTube channel. There's there's a couple of live performances that we did. One of the last one was live in Italy when I went over to Italy, and we did the studio performance with two other people and the guitarist. And when I walked into the studio room, I literally had to relearn how to play songs on the keyboard that I had written. I'm like, how do I not know this? I wrote this song. So I had to spend like an hour before we started recording just so that I could work out how to play the chords and stuff again. Because, you know, if you don't do it, you forget. And, you know, that was a bit of a challenge. But, you know, I'm just enjoying the ride. It's so much fun to be able to create songs that come out and just walk into a room. And with technology now, you don't have to be a fantastic musician. So if I'm laying down a track and I'm playing a guitar or a keyboard, and I make a mistake in the recording, I can go and fix it all up to make it sound perfect. Live is a different story. You know, live you
Right.
kind of have to sort of nail it and practice and rehearse. And I know that because I was, you know, a live musician for many years, like mainly a singer. And, you know, if you make a mistake, the show must go on, and you just continue on, and people don't even realize that you've made the mistake. But on the recordings, you can you know, you can do anything that you want.
Yeah. So what would, if you had, out of all the songs you've done, up even on your new one coming out that no one's heard yet, but what would, in memory, the most one you had, or your favorite, or your most memorable, or any certain song or video?
Well, the one that you've just played was, you know, is one of my favorites. With as far as a favorite video is probably the last one that we did, which was a song that's called "All Right in the End," and we are literally performing a song in a street in Italy. So you know, I grew up I live in Australia, but I grew up in Italy. I went to high school there, and whenever I go back, I have, you know, very fond memories, and I've got all my high school friends that still, you know, see me when I go there, and we have, you know, we go out and we just, you know, we have reunions or whatever. So I knew that I was going to Italy a few weeks ago, and with this song that was pretty much ready to go, and I said, oh, we have to do a music video. So what we did is we performed it outside of a cafe in Italy, and we just put cameras around, and it ended up being something very spontaneous that I think shows, you know. you can kind of tell in that music video that it's not sort of, that it's pretty much spontaneous. Someone's trying to call me, and I'm just it's distracting me.
It's funny. I turned mine off, and it's been going off like crazy. It's like,
oh, good idea.
But the rest of the day, my phone won't make a sound. But only when I go live, it's like everyone.
I'll just put it into flight mode.
Yeah, you just got back from Italy, didn't you?
Last month, yeah, I was there in June for a few weeks, and that's when we did the All Right in the End video, and I think we did 2 videos. One of them is finished, and we'll probably be releasing that in the next couple of months. So I don't like to, we don't put out a lot of music. Like some musicians put out a song a week. That's not what we do. So we sort of put out a song maybe once every 6 to 8 weeks, once every couple of months. Also because our songs seem to be getting some radio play, and there was an instance where we had a song called Wallflower that was getting played on the radio, and I wasn't expecting that. And then I had this other song that was about to be released, but the cycle of that song hadn't finished yet. So I'm thinking, maybe I should kind of slow it down a bit, because then it doesn't give the song the chance to get out there and to get promoted. So, and also, I give myself a bit of a break as well. So in Italy, we did 2 videos. We did one that was released, I think 3-4 weeks ago, and another one that's going to be coming out in the next few weeks.
Nice. Shoot, would it be cool if we check that one out in the end?
Go for it.
And cool. I'll play this, and then while this is playing, if anyone in chat has any questions, put them in chat, and then after this video, I'll grab 1 or 2 random questions. And let's see. I thought I had it pulled up. Yep, I do.
There's always too much to worry about. So many things I know we can do without. No appreciation for everything we got. If we take a step back, we'll see that what we got is a lot. All the useless information going round and round inside my head, and it breaks my motivation. I just wanna keep the good instead, but I think our time is coming. Gotta change the way we live in life, because everybody's hurting, and we all got scars that are deep inside. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright in the end. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright in the end. There's always something not going right. My head hurts if I think I could be wasting my time. But something tells me to face my fears. I won't worry this time. No, I won't shed any tears. Well, I miss these situations that I got myself in day by day. Gotta use my imagination. Look ahead, don't turn the other way. Now I found something to cling to, and I know I could be upset. Won't forget all the things I've been through. Just about to think about regret. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright in the end. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright in the end. Yeah. high. I don't know why. Take for granted things we try. I won't cry, I'll say goodbye, 'cause it's alright in the end. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright in the end. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright in the end.
Yeah, that was cool. So yeah, so you're just out on the street and just filming live and
Yeah, pretty much. We just turned up with some friends and our cameras, and I kind of wanted to. When I have an idea in my head, I can usually see after I've written a song and I'm thinking, okay, we have to do a music video for this. I can see the music video in my head before it's even done, and I kept on imagining the song in a street, just and that's exactly how it turned out. And that often happens with a lot of my videos. Like sometimes I'm thinking, okay, this, like we did a song called "Losing My Mind," and I had this image in my head that the video had to be all white, black and white, especially white. And in the last one that we did, which is going to be released in 2 weeks' time, again, I could see it as being like a video done at only nighttime. It's dark and night. And so I usually plan a lot before I even start making videos, because I've got this image in my head. And with
yeah,
that particular song,
I know exactly what you mean because I'm just saying any video or any editing I do, I have to visualize it first, and then I kind of make it happen. You know.
with that particular song, we I wanted to write something positive because the album is called Songs from the Present Day, and it has a lot of issues, I guess, and problems of today's society. Like, for example, waiting for a revolution, which is one of them. There's another song called Addictions, Losing My Mind. There are so many, I guess, not so much negative, but problematic issues that I wanted to end the album on a high. In fact, that song will be song number 10 and the last song on the album, telling my audience that everything's going to be all right in the end. Yes, we are. It is a shitty world at the moment, but hopefully everything will be all right in the end. And I wanted to end it on a positive.
All right, that's awesome. So my buddy Steve-O had a good question. Put it on the screen there. Your favorite musical influence in your youth?
Ooh, depends on the age. How far back are we going to go? When I was 5,
Yeah,
my mum brought me an ABBA album, and
I
then when I
remember
was
them.
10, I think I was listening to Michael Jackson, and then when I was in my sort of teenage years, I was listening to sort of more indie, sort of darker song artists like The Cure and Depeche Mode, and
Oh yeah,
and
Depeche
then
Mode.
after that, I think I got it more into grunge, and I started listening to bands like Silverchair and Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins. So it's I've kind of gone through I love a lot of different styles of music, and I think it kind of shows in our music as well, because we don't just sort of. I'd like to think that we do some electronic mixed with guitars and rock, but there are so many influences, and when you look at my music collection, either on my phone or at home, there's anything from dance music to heavy metal and everything else in between. And it
It's
depends on your
funny
mood
because
as well. Sometimes when you're in when you've woken up in the morning and you want some high energy music, you might put something on that gives you that energy. But also when I'm in bed and I'm trying to sleep and maybe I can't sleep and I put my headphones on, I might put something on that's more mellow, something like Coldplay or whatever, just to sort of relax my mind. Or so it's I have a
Sure.
very, very broad taste in music.
It sounded like you just read my list, especially growing up, because it was like, yeah, I went from this to that to Michael Jackson to hard rock to heavy metal to grunge to like Depeche Mode. I'm not sure what genre that, but just all different. Because to me, all music is well, not all, but most music is awesome. 'Cause I have to be honest, there is some music out there today that's like, I don't know.
The only issue that I have with the music of today is that often it sounds all the same, and I think we were blessed years ago. I mean, there are. I actually think that if you look hard enough, there's some really good music out there today as well. The difference is that you have to go look for it. You don't. It doesn't just appear on the radio. Usually, you actually have to. If you go searching, you'll find it. And often, I've found some really, really good bands that I enjoy. But the issue that I have with today's music is that I think once upon a time, if you heard an artist, they were instantly recognizable. If you listen to someone like Queen, you would know that it was Queen or AC/DC. Nowadays, I turn on the radio and I don't know. To me, it sounds very, very similar. That's
Exactly. That's yep.
the only issue. Everything kind of gets sort of, yeah. But if you search hard enough, you'll find stuff that's really, really good as well.
So outside of music, if you're not doing music, do you have any hobbies or other passions that like for me, I'll give you example. Like me, I love to bowl and I love to play cornhole or bago or whatever you call it wherever you're at. But so when you're not doing music or life, is there anything
Yeah,
else
I
you
like
like
to play.
focusing
I
on?
like to play sport. I'm a tennis player. I play in a competition every Tuesday night. It keeps me fit. It keeps me sane. In fact, when I'm not doing sport, I think that it's healthy for the mind as well, not just for the body. I mean, I'm in my 50s now, so it helps me to stay in shape, and I just always enjoy it. I even like watching it on TV as well when I'm not doing that. So often I might be doing music and I'll have something on in the background, and then hitting a ball when I'm outside. That's my thing.
Dang, good for you though, because tennis, wow. I was gonna say you have to be in a good shape. I tried tennis in my 20s and I couldn't do it. Man, that's hard. That's it's more physical than it looks. Put it that way.
It is. It's extremely physical, and in fact, I'm literally today I can barely walk because I played 2 nights ago in this comp that I'm playing, and it usually takes me a couple of days to recover from that. I'm like literally just every muscle in my body is aching at the moment.
I could imagine, man. Well, that explains why I like bowling because it's not as physical. But now I remember I think I was 20 or 21 years old, and I'll never forget it because I was like, I didn't think that was this hard. Like that court's pretty big and running back and forth. Yeah, that's it's not easy.
I
That's
was
for sure.
have a joke with my neighbors. My neighbors play golf, and they always say, "Oh, Manny, come and play golf with us." And I always say, "I'm not 100 years old yet, guys. I'll just hold that."
That's funny because I never understood golf either. I have nothing against it, but I tried it twice, and I've been told that I'm decent at it, but it's like uh, I'll go to drive the cart, drink the beer, but
But besides that, yeah, I guess music takes up a lot of my time. Um, to do what we do is time consuming because now that, like, once upon a time you were just a musician pretty much. Nowadays you have to be you have to be a graphic designer, you have to promote your music, put yourself out there. It's not just about making music. In fact, I think it's finding the right balance as well. So there's the creative side, and then when when you're not feeling inspired to maybe write music, then you can put your energy into maybe pushing it and promoting it and putting it on social media and all the rest of it, which I don't really enjoy doing, but it's necessary to do as well, because otherwise your music is just going to sit there. So you've got to try and push it out there as well. So it's time consuming, and I don't know, I'm just enjoying the ride at the moment, and that's the most important thing for me.
Man, that's awesome too. Keep having the positive attitude about it too. That's, so that one you just mentioned, what was it? Addiction. I just listened to that last week. Is there a story behind that one?
Um, Not in particular. It's not. I mean, the title addictions kind of. I think people associate it with maybe drugs and alcohol, but there are so many addictions nowadays. There's addictions to technology. Um,
That's true.
I was just thinking that if you're an addict nowadays and you have a phone in your pocket, it can be a huge problem. I think anyone with a gambling addiction now that doesn't have to go to a casino anymore to gamble. They can get their
Yeah,
phone out and
right
start.
in your pocket.
It's
Yeah.
right in your pocket. So I think that's what the song is about. It's about how perhaps nowadays addictions, which can be in any shape or form, can kind of make you go insane if. So it's just about. I don't like. I like writing songs that are open to interpretation, that perhaps maybe the listener can listen to the song and relate to it in their own way, not in my way or somebody else's way.
I love that too. That's awesome. That's
So it doesn't
and,
necessarily specify what addiction it is that's in the song. So
and I just found this out the other day because you said with the phones. I did not know this, but I guess it's scientifically or whatever. I'm not sure, but there's actually a word. It's a phobia. I can't. It's like unophobia. I can't remember the exact name, but the phobia is having a non-working phone. People actually have a fear of their phone not working or the battery dying or whatever. I'm like, what? Oh, I mean, I could see arachnophobia, being scared of spiders, but being that fearful of, oh my God, my phone doesn't work, life is over.
yeah,
But
or
it's
losing it.
an addiction.
I can't imagine anything worse than losing my phone. I've got everything in there.
It it is a horrible feeling though, because I have had that, like, oh my God, where's my phone? I do freak out, but I guess people have the fear of like that. Even if their phone is in their hand, they're still afraid that it's not going to work or something's going to happen.
How did we cope when they didn't exist?
That's what I don't understand about it, because it's like, remember when the phone was attached to the wall and it had the cord on it, and you had to go duck in the corner so your parents couldn't hear you talking, and now everyone's got one in their pocket.
But speaking of that song, I didn't expect this particular song to do well at all. In fact, when you have songs, there are songs I think that are sort of album tracks, and some that are singles, and the singles represent the band or the album. And just before releasing this song, I was really unsure about it. I'm thinking, I don't know, should it be like in the back of the album somewhere, or and it's been our most successful one so far. It's had, I think it was on 28 radio stations in Australia, and it's been the one that's had the most streams on YouTube as well. So I can never tell whether, because I'm so close to these songs, because I've heard them over and over again, that I lose perspective of which ones are the better ones. And yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, this one's got 3.7 thousand views, 189 comments in 6 months. That's that's really good. Shoot. Well, let's check this one out. This is addictions.
All the shadows within are hiding deep inside me. Ever since I was a kid, they've come around to haunt me. I don't wanna feel low. Someday I'll learn to let go of all the shadows within, and so my world can keep turning. Does it feel the same in your shoes? Break the chains. What do you do? Does it feel the same for you? Can I slow down and turn things around? These are the times we're living in, with everything at our fingertips. These are the times we're living in, and we're all broken into pieces. These addictions make me insane, and temptation makes me go astray. 'Cause my soul is burning down again. These addictions make me run away. These addictions make me insane, and temptation makes me go astray. 'Cause my soul is burning down again. These addictions make me run away. Tell me the meaning of life. It can't be only wrong or right. 'Cause I'm so hard on myself. Can take the pain somewhere else. Does it feel the same in your shoes? So distracted, what can I do? Does it feel the same for you? It's hard to slow down, to turn things around. These are the times we're living in, with everything at our fingertips. These are the times we're living in, and we're all broken into pieces. These addictions make me insane, and temptation makes me go astray. 'Cause my soul is burning down again. These addictions make me run away. These addictions make me insane, and temptation makes me go astray. 'Cause my soul is burning down again. These addictions make me run away. When it's broken, it's time for a new day. We come to the roots, gotta get it out of your mind. When it's broken, it's time for a new day. We come to the roots, gotta get it out of your mind. No, no, no. We just make it run away. No, 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 no. We just make it run away. No, 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 no. We just let it run away. No, 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 no. We just let it run away.
That is a great song.
Thank you.
Great song.
Hey, Lord Spike.
Yeah, LSP. What's up, brother?
Whole
Good to see you.
Vault.
Whole Vault, Alley Cat. That's so you were saying earlier you did you were in a cover band and but what up until like today, what's been your your biggest performance you've ever done live?
Yeah, actually, I haven't told this story before, but when I was, or maybe I have, I can't remember. But when I was in a cover band, I actually played in a stadium once
Damn.
because we had an agent, and every week we usually used to play pubs and sometimes weddings and stuff. But we're a six-piece band, and one day our agent called us and said, "We've got you in the halftime of a football match in a cricket stadium." I'm like, "Oh wow!" So I think we had to learn 4 or 5 songs. I think they were like the Beach Boys songs or whatever. So I'm walking into this stadium and I see my head on a big gigantic screen, and I'm like, oh my god! Like, and I think I told, because and it was televised on TV, and I told my wife to make sure that she hit the record button on the TV so that I could go back home and watch myself on TV. And we did this performance, and it was like mind blowing because I'm playing in a stadium. And then I get home and I said to her, "Did you record it? Show me the performance." She goes, "I did, but they were running the ads during the halftime when you were playing." I'm like, "Oh my god!" So I never got to see it.
Wow.
Yeah,
That had
but
to be a hell of a feeling though, like, because that's like a big event. It's like, can't even, like, what, tens of 20 of thousands of
yeah, but we were just
people?
like the halftime, and people were getting up and getting hot dogs and
What,
hamburgers.
right.
Everyone was paying that much attention. But for me it was a buzz.
I could
That's what
imagine,
happens
yeah.
when you're playing at those things. People get up and go to the toilet or do whatever they have to do. But I thought that was a good story. But to answer your question, I mean, I think that I wasn't really satisfied in being in a cover band. I wanted to create my own music. I didn't want to sing other people's music. That's just me. And Lillypillies has been going for a couple of years now, and I'm just I don't really have huge expectations. I'm an independent artist. I'm not signed to a record label. I'm not expecting worldwide success. I'm just not. I mean, I'm doing this for myself, and I want to be able to look back and have something that I'm actually really proud of that I've created. In this case, we've done a couple of albums, and everything else is a bonus. I'm just enjoying the ride, and we've been blessed to have had radio play, which I never really expected to happen before. Um, we are currently on. Last night we were played on a radio station called Pulse FM, who every week runs like a top, I don't know, top 20 or whatever, and we were number one for the last 2 weeks in a row with All Right in the End. Just things like that, It's I'm just blessed to be able to be doing this in 2023 with my friend who I used to play music with many many years ago. I can't believe we get to do this. It's a privilege for me, you know, and to share it with everyone, to share it with you guys is I'm very content, and that's my goal, just to keep doing what I'm doing, and having something to show for it, because many years ago when I was doing this, I didn't really have anything that I was proud of. If I listen to recordings that I did in the 90s, I cringe. And if people ask me, "Oh, you're a musician, can we hear stuff?" I used to actually say, "No, you can't. I don't really have anything to show." Now, when I get asked, and if they say to me, "Oh, you play music," I'm so proud to show them Lillypillies, and that's my satisfaction.
Right. And that's the best way to go too. Independent, no record labels, nothing. Because, and like you said, because you got radio play, and just like anything, and just overnight, it could just be all of a sudden, you know, start playing on radio stations everywhere. And then if you weren't independent, then you got someone bossing you around, and now you got to do this, or you got to change this song, and it's like, well, no, that's my song, and then no, you got to change these words because of this.
Yeah, I literally feel blessed that I'm able to do that and release it to the world, really, because with these distribution platforms that we have now, you can my music is out on Apple Music and Spotify and Amazon and everywhere. And I'm thinking, wow, it's amazing that I get to do this still. I feel blessed that I can still be a
Yeah.
musician in my own terms.
And the best part is, in 100 years from now, it's still gonna be out there. You know,
Yeah, whether
it's
people will listen to it or not, I'm not sure, but for me, it's a personal satisfaction and the best, pastime ever to be able to dedicate part of your day to creating music. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that.
oh yeah, that's like me. I say all the time. I'm not a musician, but I I write lyrics down all the time. I just I don't play any instruments, or I don't have any talent or knowledge of how to make it music. You know, I just hear it in my head and write it down and then forget about it. But
Well, you should, Steve. You should. My advice to you is to hook up with a musician. As I said, we all have our own skill sets, and if that's your skill set, I'm sure I know guitarists or other musicians that can are the best musicians in the world, but can't write lyrics and can't come up with melodies. I know this for a fact because I've been approached by them recently asking me if I can help them out. So if that's your passion, yeah, hook up with someone that can't do what you do and you can't do what they can't do.
right, it's, yeah, I actually do have one jam unleashed. Actually, he I don't want to say challenged me, but he suggested I should write a song about how YouTube is assholio. And so I wrote a song, and the lyrics are done. I'm just working with someone to when we have time anyway, to put music to it. So if anything, hopefully by the end of the year, that song will be done and a video will be out. But we'll see.
I'm sure we're all looking forward to hearing that.
It would be pretty cool though, because I mean I'm 47 and I've been doing it since I was a teenager, so it would be the first. It would be definitely be the first. But like you were saying earlier about like growing up in the different bands and inspirations and all that, what was the first concert you ever seen live?
First concert that I ever went to was The Cure in
Nice.
the late eight. I'm showing my age in the late 80s, and I was blown away because I'd been listening to them for a while, and then I got to see them, and you never forget your first concert.
Right, yeah, that's so
And that
true.
was in
Yeah,
that was in Florence in Italy. It's my first one.
nice. That's awesome too, especially The Cure, because I ask on my regular daily life, I just ask like customers and stuff that question because I'm always curious, and
Yeah, I'm
sometimes it's just
fascinated
like
as well. What was yours, Steve?
mine was 1987. I was 11 years old. White Snake in Detroit, Michigan, and my mom took me. So
That's a good first concert.
yeah, it was fun. It was White Snake, and then uh, the opening band was White Lion, and then the opening band was Great White, and then White Snake. So it was all white was in the name. White Lion, Great White, White Snake. But yeah, some people I asked, they're like, "Oh, it's just I'd go with my parents," and it's just like, "Oh, that sucks. That was a horrible first concert," you know. But then the other half is, like yours, The Cure. That's a great first concert.
Yeah, there are things that you never forget. I think your first big concert, and you don't expect it to be so loud. I remember just thinking, "Wow, like this is so big, and the lights." And as a
Yeah,
kid, it leaves an impact.
yeah, it definitely does. That's what suck if it was just like a bad concert, and then that impact is the same because then you're just thinking, oh, concerts suck. I don't want to do, and it's like, no, you just had a bad experience. you know, Not all concerts are like that.
Yeah.
Just that one. But so this one was "Don't Let Me Down." This was from a year ago.
God, it seems like so long ago. It was only a year ago. Wow.
That's weird how that works. Every day that happens to me, I'm like, that was only a couple months ago. I thought that was like 2 years ago. Like, no, it just happened in April. Like, really? But they say that the older you get, the faster time goes, and I'm finding that out quick. But let's see, was this I'm kind of scrolling through. Well, let's just check it out. Well, this is "Don't Let Me Down." Oh, I gotta share it instead, huh? There we go.
I lost my way. I'm somewhere else. I'm all alone. I tell myself when you're with me, it feels like home. One of these days you'll be coming around. I'll do anything to let me down. I don't wanna sleep alone in town. One of these nights when the stars align, looking for a girl in the street lights. I don't wanna sleep and take my time. You're inside. Everybody's looking for another chance. Always wanna try and be a better man. Now is the time. Everybody wants to leave the past behind. Everybody wants to live a better life. Lay down in darkness when someone's waiting for you. Lay down in darkness. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Lay down in darkness when someone's waiting for you. Lay down in darkness. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. When I'm broken, lift me up, make it better. When I'm broken, I close my eyes and we're together. Don't let me down. I wanna wait another day. I want everything to go my way. Rush to be left and not mistake. I can hear it echo on the other side. With the song with your voice, it'll be alright. What's it gonna take to make you mine? You're inside. Everybody's looking for another chance. Always wanna try and be a better man. Now is the time. Everybody wants to leave the past behind. Everybody wants to live a better life. Lay down in darkness when someone's waiting for you. Lay down in darkness. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. When someone's waiting for you. waiting for you. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Darkness, and someone's waiting for you. Waiting for you. Darkness, don't let me down. Don't let me down.
That was sweet. That was sweet. And shout out to LSP for the super chat. Amazing show. Shout out to the Lillypillies. See, I shout out LSP and he shouts out the Lillypillies. Nice.
That video brings back memories because some of it was stock footage, that was made with that, but some of it was actually me in a movie theater. And I was with my kids, and we were there watching the James Bond movie or something, and I said to them, I need some footage of me miming the song because it's going to go in the video. And they're like, Dad, really? You're embarrassing us.
Dad, come on.
Come on, just 30 seconds. Like, quick, people are coming in. Hurry up.
That's funny because I was going to ask that. Like, were you actually? That's funny that you said that because that was a question I was going to ask. Were you actually in a movie theater?
Yes, I was.
That makes it even cooler, though.
The last scene where I'm performing in front of the screen is not. I think that was a projector that I'd set up at home. But the one where I'm in with popcorn sitting in the movies, yeah, that's real movie theater.
Oh, that is cool though. That's sweet. Yeah, because I know they get weird
like
about coming in with cameras in the theater and stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah,
you did that.
Watch it, So. All my videos. That's the thing about good thing about nowadays is all the technology that once upon a time you had to have a camera filming you.
Yeah, like that
now,
big,
like we've got these little phones in our pockets that we can take all this footage with. It's just amazing.
That's Angelique. Oh, a Creek Squad's in there. Aloha, Creek. He's probably at work. But oh, that's what I was gonna ask. So what you kind of answered it when you said that you're just enjoying the ride. But if you have any like short term or long term goals as far as the Lillypillies or your musical career, or...
Well, we've just kind of taken it one step at a time. So our first goal was to put out a single and a video, and then we did that for a while, and then it's like, oh, maybe we can make an album. And then after that, it was like, oh, maybe we can get to perform these songs live, which is what we did as well on our YouTube. We've got a live in Italy performance. And then we got to the stage it's like, oh, maybe we can make a second album, which for me is huge because I've never, even when I was playing in other bands in other like years ago, I think with bands you either make it, you're either really successful or you're not successful, and when bands don't make it or are unsigned, they move on to other bands or whatever. And the fact that I get to make a second album, maybe next year a third, for me is a huge satisfaction. So I don't really have any long term goals. I just want to keep doing what I'm doing and seeing how far I can take it.
Right.
I think my next goal is to have a little bit of a break, actually, because I've kind of done a lot recently. In fact, some of the stuff that we've done hasn't been released yet. I'm going to slowly, I think I've mentioned it before, release a video every month or so. So I've got about 4 there ready to go. Album is finished and released on the 11th of August, and then slowly we're going to be releasing some videos after that. Gives me a bit of a break as well, because when you're trying to be creative and coming up with something new, you kind of need to also just have a bit of a break. And the fact that we've got stuff that has to be still released gives us that opportunity as well.
Yeah, I can imagine if you can get burnt out pretty quick, which is another good thing about being independent, right? Because if you're not independent, you got to come up with 14 more songs by the end of the year, and then now you're like your brain's like rather than just coming to you naturally, you know.
We also just finished a collaboration with an Australian band. I don't want to give too much away, so I don't think they've made it official yet. But I recorded a song with Australian band that's not part of this community, actually, as far as I know, anyway. So that'll be interesting as well, because it's a bit of a different genre of music, but that'll be coming out this year as well.
And that's why everyone's got to make sure they're subscribed to the Lillypillies, which is pinned at the top, because when that does come out, you'll know. Just another reason to make sure everyone's subscribed. Blue Unicorn, the Wiggles.
Oh my God, the Wiggles. When my kids were little and they would listen to the Wiggles, I don't know, some people love them, and even parents, and I could never handle the Wiggles. I'm sorry if there's any Wiggles fans out there. It's just, I couldn't do it. Just had to block it out of my ears.
When my son was little, it was Barney. Oh, the purple
Torture?
dinosaur. I love you. Oh God, I hated that, but gotta make the kids happy, right? Wasn't there something else after the Wiggles that was even creepier? I can't remember.
Oh, there's so many of them. I think there was like
Right.
High Five, Wiggles. Yeah, I'm glad that they're not that little anymore.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad I'm not having any more kids. I love Teletubbies. There you go, Jam Unleashed. That's what it was. Teletubbies was the other. They were creepy, man, weren't they? Teletubbies get
Scary.
nightmares. Yeah. How is that a children? Oh man, just thinking about it now creeps me out. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night and a Teletubbies like standing over you. Oh.
Nightmare material for sure.
There you go, LSP. He made his kids watch school board meetings. Oh, that's great. Let's see. So I had 2 other ones, but let's see. There's Losing My Mind and Broken Angel. Where oh shoot, that's already there. Wrong one. Oh, wrong one again. Out of the Losing My Mind and Broken Angel were actually both of them, because it seems like they kind of go together to me. That's why I guess what I'm getting at, because Broken Angel, Losing My Mind, I don't know, that's just my brain works different. But are these relate? Like you were saying earlier, how your album, and then at the end, with a positive note, like everything's gonna in
So
the
Broken
end.
Angel is on the first album, and Losing My Mind will be on the second album. The
Oh,
first,
okay.
yeah, the first album was, which is actually called Run to the Future for a reason, because it was written during the pandemic, the lockdown, and and all I could think about was that I couldn't wait till the nightmare of the not knowing when the borders were going to reopen and when we could travel again. And it was, for me, it really affected me. And I kept thinking to myself, I wish that I could just fast forward all this stuff that we're going through right now and be in the future in 3 years time, because I'm sure that in 3 years time things will be, they possibly can't get this bad where everyone's, there was no vaccines and this and that and whatever. The world is crazy. So
Right.
and that's how the title of the album came about, because I literally wanted to run to the future and skip all the madness. And the second album, which is out in a couple of weeks' time, is called Songs from the Present Day, which represent the songs from now. And we've realized that things aren't as great as I thought that they would be when I wanted to fast forward to the future, because we have even more, I don't know if we have even more problems, but I mean, we have so many problems now with everything that's going on in the world. I guess that's how those two album titles anyway kind of relate to each other. And Losing My
Okay.
Mind is that, so I think I mentioned it earlier, that I had this idea in my head that it had to be all white, and then I was going to make a video later on that it was all black instead. So this I like the contrasts of even of the styles of music. Sometimes, like if I release a song that's a little bit mellow and slow, chances are that the following one will be completely opposite. Will be maybe more rock, more guitar driven. And the video for Broken Angel was a crazy idea that our guitarist in Italy had come up with, the idea that he wanted to use drones. He had seen the Tears for Fears. Do you remember Tears for Fears, and when they did Shout? And in the end of the video, the guy from Tears for Fears in the 80s was doing a guitar solo on top of a mountain, and they probably had helicopters at the time doing this
Yeah,
crazy scene where he's doing the shout video. And he said to me, "Oh, I
I
want to do
remember.
something like that." I'm like, "You can't do that. Like, how are we going to do that?" And then 2 days later, I get the footage of him on this mountain that he had done with drones and sent it to me here in Australia. So I kind of had to match what he had done. So I had to sort of go looking for a hilltop near where I lived, so I could mash the two together, and it looked like we were both on top of this cliff doing the Broken Angel video. So that's the story behind that one.
No kidding. That's pretty cool. And that's the Broken Angel. Well, shoot, let's check that one out. That's awesome. Yeah, because I was kind of scrolling through it I can tell where you got the. That's an awesome story, though. Shoot, let's check that out.
Could this be the best time of my life? All I got in this life is right in front of me tonight. Won't mess up the best time of my life. Tell me still, don't know why. I got so much on my mind. Tell me why I'm getting nowhere. Tell me why I'm not in control. What I feel doesn't last forever. How do I know there's nothing better anyway? Take me to the end of the world I've seen. The place where I was born I've seen. The meaning of this life in the world I've seen. A broken angel. When I feel pain inside, See your face every time around strangers left behind. There's nothing left without this life. But in time, you can tell me about these feelings that keep coming round. And in time, you can show me all the useless things keep going on. Tell me why I'm getting nowhere. Tell me why I'm not in control. What I feel doesn't last forever. How do I know there's nothing better anyway? Take me to the end of the world I've seen. The place where I was born I've seen. The meaning of this life in the world I've seen. A broken angel. Take me to the end of the world I've seen. Place where I was born I've seen. The meaning of this life in the world I've seen. A broken angel.
Well, I don't know about anyone else, but I am scared of heights, and that end scene right there, I wouldn't be standing that close to that. Wow. Well, I gotta look at that again. That made
That
my
seems like such a
anxiety
long
go
time
up.
ago too.
Oh, look at that drop off. Oh, ugh, that gets my anxiety. It gives me butterflies. Yeah, I'm scared of heights. Definitely scared of heights. That was an awesome video, though.
Thanks. Yeah, I feel like our music has kind of gone up a notch since then as well, because I've just learned so much more in the last 6 months, even from a production point of view, that it's a learning process as well. I still love that first album, but I just think that with the second one, it's gone up a notch for sure.
Yeah, and then the losing my mind one. That's what you were talking about earlier too, right? About it had to be like black and white, but mostly white video, and
Yeah, I get these crazy ideas in my head. I don't know. Then I get fixated
no,
that it has to be in a
it's
certain
not.
way. And
That's the thing. It's not crazy to me because I'm the same way. I have to visualize anything I mean, even with plumbing, as a plumber, I have to visualize it before I do the work. Like, I just have to. I don't know.
and then I don't like
Maybe we're
repeating
both
the
weird
same
and think it
formula.
crazy. Who knows?
In fact, I think that straight after or before that, I can't remember, but there's another video that we did, which is called "Don't Tell Me," which is is a contrast because it's dark. It's in the city. I feel I did it during the Sydney Light Festival, which is held here every year. So it's so we've gone from Losing My Mind, which is like all whitewashed, to a dark city video. I don't like to repeat the same formula. I like to sort of chop and change it around to make it interesting, also for myself as well.
Right. I'm going to put in the chat. There we go. In the chat, you're on August 10th, U.S., 7 p.m. Central. If it'll let me. Your premiere. There we go. So everyone, click on that right now, and then go over there, and then hit notify me, and hit the like button. Feed the algorithm is hungry, and the more likes it has before August 10th, and the more notifications that are turned on before August 10th, the more people will know about it, and that's the whole point. So click on that link, go do that, and then come back here. Or you don't have to. I mean, but it'd be a lot cooler if you did. And put a comment. There you go, JM. And put a comment in the link in the chat. But shoot, so we're almost at 1 hour and 40 minutes. So
time flies when you're having fun.
I'm telling you, it does. This was awesome. But how about this? How about if since we were already talking about it and you kind of already explained the video we just played and the Losing My Mind, how about if I play Losing My Mind, and then I'll come back, I'll ask, and I have one more question I want to ask, and then after that we can close it out.
Sure thing.
All right, let's see, share this tab instead. There we go. All right, so this is Losing My Mind.
Sometimes life is never black or white. I try to get by. This time I am broken deep inside, but I try to feel alive. Don't worry when I'm losing my mind. It's alright. These are the things that keep me up at night. Don't worry, hey, when I'm losing my mind. It's alright, I know. These are the things that keep me up at night. Sometimes there are just so many lies. I do what I can to get by. Maybe I can change one day. Maybe it's a crime, but I try to feel alive. Don't worry when I'm losing my mind. It's alright. These are the things that keep me up at night. Don't worry, hey, when I'm losing my mind. It's alright, I know. These are the things that keep me up at night. Shine your light on me now. When I feel inside out, shine your light on me now. When I feel inside out, don't worry when I'm losing my mind. It's alright, I know. These are the things that keep me up at night. Don't worry, hey, when I'm losing my mind. It's alright, I know. These are the things that keep me up at night. Shine your light on me now. When I feel inside out, shine your light on me now. When I feel inside out,
Nice. Real quick, I want to say aloha to Bonnie's. Aloha, Bonnie. And Liam North, aloha and welcome. And I like that video too. I like all the videos I've seen. I've been, for the last like 2 months, I've been watching your channel.
Thank you.
I've been
I
stalking
really
you.
enjoy. I don't enjoy being in them. I like editing them and putting them together. But when I have to, I guess I don't have to be in them, but I can't really see how I'm not in there because obviously there's some sort of performance element in there. But when I actually have to get the camera out and I have to like get dressed and put this on, I don't really. That's not fun for me. But once I have the footage in my hands, and then I can start being creative, that's the fun part for me.
Right? I'm kind of saying I don't like being at, because normally with this show is because you're not set up to play live, but normally I have it like this, but I don't know, because you're not playing live. It just, so, and I'm in my work clothes, and it's, because I get to go to work when we're down here. But
You look like a rock
yeah,
star.
yeah, no, or normally I'm just like this, There's my avatar. It's me talking when it does that. But yeah, editing, I love the editing part because you can do so much. But
Yeah, and I try to hide behind my glasses in all the videos just because you know, I don't know, feel more comfortable that way.
the Indian shadow plays. Oh man, I'm telling you, as soon as this is over, my phone won't ring for the rest of the day. But like 12 times already. It's crazy. But okay,
You're a
so
wanted
oh yeah,
man.
so yeah, right. So, and Angelique 29, aloha, good to see you. Angelique has a beautiful voice, beautiful singing voice. You should check her out. Well, I know the time difference is huge, but it's an entire day. But on Monday nights here, I do karaoke, and Angelique, glow with glow. I bring it every day. Beautiful voices, but
I have to
but
try and
anyway,
pop in more often.
yeah, it's a fun time. That's because I'm not a singer for sure, but I have fun doing it, and that's what it's all about, having fun. But it makes it harder when people that can sing, like Angelique, and then I sing after them. It's like, eh. Still fun though.
It's funny because for me, it's hard to record vocals because when you're singing, even karaoke, I can imagine that there's music playing and you're singing on top of the music and it sounds good because it's a whole. But if when you're recording a track and you've got headphones on, and because otherwise the music goes inside the microphone, so you have to wear the headphones, and the people around you, all they can hear is a vocal with no music, and often you're doing harmonies that are like, oh, like really high and stuff. I have to make sure that everyone's out of the house. I can't even like
Right.
perform because I know that it's going to sound terrible with just my vocal with no music, or it's even like when you're singing a song that's famous, maybe it sounds even better without, like, not better, but maybe it sounds okay with no music as well. But when you're singing a song that no one's ever heard because it's an original song and they can only hear the vocal, no, can't do it. It's like everyone out.
Yeah, I see it. That would be, yeah, weird. Like,
And sometimes I've done that in my car just so that I can have that privacy and no one can. And I use my car's the vocal booth almost. I've done that quite a bit.
oh yeah, that's the best place to do it because, yeah, it is a boost. Really, if you think about it, you got your windows up and yeah, it's
Yeah.
your own private little studio. But let's see. So, oh, so yeah, yeah. Oh shoot, we already are going on 2 hours. So my last question is, oh wait, real quick. Jam is absolutely correct. Lady Campion and Joe Norman are definitely phenomenal singers as well.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Lady Campion.
Yep.
I have to check
I'm
out.
actually we're actually emailing back and forth to she's gonna be the first female. I'm really excited about that. She's gonna be the first female on here and should be within the next couple of weeks. But
Looking forward to that one.
yeah, that's gonna be awesome. But so yeah, so my last question, if you were to have any advice for any upcoming musicians or even anyone thinking about getting in to being a musician or whatever, what would your advice be for them?
My advice would be to start somewhere and not be too hard on yourself because we all start at the bottom, and no one starts there or here. Like we all have to start somewhere, and don't be afraid to start and then just to keep improving and improving and practicing until you get comfortable and whatever you're creating improves, and don't be in a hurry either. No one's chasing anyone. So that would be my advice, just to first of all do it for the right reasons, do it for you, enjoy it. um, there are so many creators out there, and there's so much competition, and sometimes I think to myself, my god, I've just spent you know a month, sometimes 2 months to write and record a song that in 3 or 4 minutes it's over, and the listener will then go and listen to something else, and then they might say, oh, that was a good song, okay, what else can I listen to today? And I've put so much effort and energy into that, but it doesn't matter because the reason why I'm doing it is for myself. Because if that wasn't the reason, then I'd be in a lot of trouble if I'm trying to grab the attention of that person for 3 minutes. And there's so much music out there that's disposable pretty much. So my advice would be to start the journey, enjoy it, do it for yourself, and don't be in a hurry to do anything. And eventually practice makes perfect. Everyone gets good, well, like gets to a good point if you practice and enjoy it. Hope that makes sense.
No, absolutely it does. Makes complete 100% total sense for sure. Cause yeah, I mean, I don't want to say who, but I know someone that I've known for a long time, and what you were saying, I'm like, I want to repeat this to him because he's more like he expected to be, you know, famous overnight or perfect overnight or, you know, it's like Michael Jordan wasn't he got kicked off the basketball team in high school. Nobody's good at anything the first time they do it, you know? That's kind of what it reminded me of. So, yeah, do it for you and practice makes perfect and
Yeah, I think you really have to do it for the right reasons, because you're going to get disappointed otherwise. You know, it's a tough gig if you put a lot of pressure on yourself to reach certain goals. And you know, everyone's different. I'm just, for me, it's not a huge, it's a fantastic commitment for me. I feel blessed because I'm doing it for the right reasons, I think, and everything else is a bonus. The fact that people are here listening to my music, I still can't believe it. I'm like, wow, people actually are listening to what I've created at home, you know.
right.
And that's very rewarding for me.
That's awesome. So is there anything else you want to say to everyone in chat before we close out? When we close out, I'm still gonna play a couple more videos from Lillypillies so that the chat can keep going for a little bit. But before
No,
I do
just
that,
I appreciate everyone turning up and listening to me ramble on. Sometimes I mumble a bit. Um, I hope that you can continue listening to Lillypillies. I mean, we're on. You don't have to buy our music. You can just stream it for free on all the streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple, YouTube, whatever. Um, it would mean a lot, yeah, if you dig a couple of the songs or whatever, just to you know, enjoy the ride with me, with us.
absolutely. And if you're not subscribed to Lillypillies, is the Lillypillies, it is pinned at the top, so you can always go there and check that out. And
Thank you,
cool.
Kid
Hey
Cap.
man, thank you for coming on today. This was awesome.
Thank you, Steve, for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And yep. Well, I got your email, so I'll keep in touch too. And everyone, I'll put it in here again just in case. For August 10th at 7 p.m. Central, Lillypillies premiere. Make sure you guys check that out.
I think you're gonna like that one. I just have a feeling about that song. Sometimes I'm wrong. Like I think that a certain song is gonna do well, and maybe another one does better instead of that one. But I don't know. It's something about this one that I think people will dig. It's called Electric.
Well, I haven't heard one of your songs yet where I was like, it was just okay. Like seriously, every song I've heard of yours, I like. So,
Thank you.
but, all right, everyone. So until next week, um, and like I said, I'm gonna play a couple more videos so you can still hang around and chat. But until next time, have a beautiful morning, a beautiful day, beautiful afternoon, a beautiful evening, a beautiful night, whatever it may be, wherever you are. Much love, much aloha, but most importantly, God bless.
I look up to the stars to stay away from the darkness. And I don't go high so that I won't fall down. The fire of days to keep me warm from the coldness that I've come to know. The power always left me so far. It's just another casual day and I get stuck on replay. On autopilot once again. Night and day, nobody wants to be lonely. I look around and I feel that way. can't stay. Maybe someday. So much to say. Maybe someday. Maybe someday when I close my eyes, come and get me from the wayside. Maybe someday I'll be over prize. We'll go faster than the rocket flies. A beautiful day with a bitter aftertaste. The sun is shining, but I'm upside down. The door is closing up behind, and I hope that I can make it right. Ain't gonna find me in the dark. Am I wasting time? Am I wasting life? Reassure me, please don't twist the night. How will only take me so far? Night and day, nobody wants to be lonely. I look around and I feel that way. Now I can't stay. Maybe someday. So much to say. Maybe someday. Maybe someday when I close my eyes, come and get me from the wayside. Maybe someday I'll be over prize. We'll go faster than the rocket flies. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Now I can't stay. Maybe someday. So much to say. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. I tried to be like everybody else. I tried my best to always get it right. I learned to live, I learned to fly, I learned to stay afloat so I can survive. I'm like the sun, I'm like the rain, I'll be whatever makes it come back again. Is it more than this, more than this, more than what I already know? There's no reason for loneliness, and I'm hypnotized by you. I see the mountain emptiness, and I'm hypnotized. There's no words by you. I tried to hide inside my disguise. I tried my best not to pick a fight. I learned to run, I learned to crawl, I've got no parachute that's catching my fall. I'm like the sun, I'm like the moon. I'll be whatever if you come back to me soon. Is it more than this? More than this? More than what I already know? There's no reason for loneliness. And I'm hypnotized, hypnotized by you. I've tried to work, I've seen a mountain of emptiness. And I'm hypnotized, mesmerized by you. Let's fly on a rocket ship up high in the sky, high in the sky. Let's fly on a rocket ship with watching the world go by. And I'm hypnotized, mesmerized by you. I heard an early warning only yesterday. I was starting over and not being afraid. I don't want to lose you. I guess it's true. And I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm coming to. So I might as well just take my time. Can I pause the madness in my life? So take me with you when we know the time is right. To another place we're leaving this behind. Take me with you when you're on the other side. Wake me up in a few years' time. Where you go, I'll go. Where you don't, I won't. Where you go, I'll go. Where you don't, I won't. And when the season changes, I know it's time to breathe a little deeper. Today is mine. The time waits for no one to get on board. And I know the paranoia, I've been unsure. So I might as well just take my time. Can I pause the madness in my life? So take me with you when we know the time is right. To another place we're leaving this behind. Take me with you when you're on the other side. Wake me up in a few years' time. you go, I'll go. Where you don't, I won't. Where you go, I'll go. Where you don't, I won't. Hey, now I'm gonna make it shine. Wake me up in a few years' time. Hey, now I'm gonna make it shine. Wake me up in a few years' time. So take me with you when we know the time is right. To another place where leaving this behind. Take me with you when we're on the other side. And wake me up in a few years' time. Where you go, I'll go. Where you don't, I won't. Where you go, I'll go. Where you don't, I won't. Hey, now I'm gonna make it shine. Wake me up in a few years' time. Hey, now I'm gonna make it shine. Wake me up in a few years' time.